Good day, friends. Good day, humans, and good day, the rest, whoever you are. If you think that you're human, that's okay. If you think that you are partially human and the rest is something that you never heard about or never been taught, that's okay too. Not to put any blame or judgment on you, because you did not know until now. Or until a couple of years ago, when we start exposing what education could do to you. It will not bring you a glory or fame. It will actually put you in such a deep prison, that the deepest and darkest dungeon that you can even imagine. Yet everybody is just keen to get better education. Reasons, or so-called fake reasons, are to get more money, to get prestige, to be more famous than somebody else, to be on the top 10 lists of best tennis players ever for at least a week, or I don't know, 42 weeks, with some of these claiming. So they are the best performers of this lie and deception, where we have to trust some kind of fake court game that is going on left and right for hours, and they're saying 4 hours, 53 minutes, they could not decide who's the best. I mean, why didn't they sit down in the bar and just say, okay, after like 2 hours drinking beer or having espresso, and decide, okay, this time you will win. It's exactly the same, except they spend all your money, they spend all your energies for admiring such great shots, such a great movement, endurement, and especially if it's like very hot, and Australia very famous for this. They torch the courts for like days after days, and they organize it in the most hottest weather ever. So these robots, tennis players, are going back and forward, left and right for hours, and we have to admire their stamina or something. Well, don't think so, because we just been deeply programmed, so wrongfully educated, that there's nothing worse but being a robot, not knowing that you are one. So today, title: Ignorance is not a bliss, it is a curse. Who doesn't know what curse words means? I'll give a brief historical description. Started with cursive letters. Before even we start writing, we were using a cursive letter to curse our knowledge onto the paper. And we're going from left to right. Some, let's call it civilizations, or some nations, kept this kind of lettering and direction, where we can actually much better read much faster from left to right than just as we now, being deprogrammed or deeply programmed into a slow motion existence of our conscious mind, we read and write from left to right. Right to left. Reason why is because it's slowing down our well-being, our conscious acknowledgement of the words, of the world around, and we can be much easier tricked into not noticing that we've been wrongfully educated. So they can tell us a lie, present it as a truth, and we will just take it because we absolutely believe everything comes from these freaking schools. To me, the educational system of the Bible teaching us nothing else but ignorance. How I can be so sure? Because whoever went a couple of grades in a school, you will end up just memorizing some absolutely ridiculous facts that have nothing to do with the facts. It's a lie that was presented as a fact, so you take it for the face value that somebody older and, let's say, more experienced than you saying about it. So why are we so stubbornly ignorant? Why we don't question? I'm not blaming, I'm not judging, I'm just giving you an option. There is a way out. Start observing what is really wrong with your world, your little life, and life in general. Why are we so keen to get well educated, to get more money? Why we want to be doctors and lawyers and professors and scientists, to be what? To be better than others? To be more dominant species than all the other animals who cannot do chemical tests and they cannot dissect each other and whatever. Yet, we did not stop with dissecting only animals or plants or DNA code. We dissecting a human spirit. And there are very many techniques that nobody teaching about. What these alien frigging creatures and many species brought here as a primary technique how to enslave pretty much every single human being. Again, reasons, listen some of my previous videos, or maybe check with Ron Amitron at Creation Lightship. He has like 42,000 audio recordings in the last 15 years. That's what I kind of discovered. So you can learn a lot, or not. Again, this will be when your ignorance comes into the front and say your consciousness is not actually brave enough to accept there is a possibility that we have been screwed. We have been manipulated. So you will find me as stupid reasons why to refuse me, why to refuse any of the informations that I'm saying, that Ron is saying, that Mark is saying, that Trump is saying, that Julian Assange is saying, that Denise is saying. So why we're so being ignored? Because you've been taught ignorance. You've been taught that only what says on CNN, let's say in the media, or what it says in the school books, or what it says in the Bible must be a truth. Must be. So whoever is challenging us, these beings are freaks. Today we come up to a very funny game of the words. Everybody talks about Illuminati. Illuminati are doing this. Illuminati are doing that. Yet there is some truth in this, and only in the word of Illuminati. But if you check the prefix, it's ill, luminous creatures. So the ones who stole a light and transform it for very ill deeds. Do we have a solution for this? How we can become a luminous beings as we supposed to, as we actually have been created as one? Why we are so ignorant towards our inner light? Because we've been taught and practiced ignorance for century after century after century. And don't tell me you never lived before. I mean, you've been eaten 100,000 times at least, in all kind of forms and shapes and situations. And if they didn't have enough of you, they will split you in many little pieces. Every 10 minutes a day they were making another timeline where you'll be doing same stupid jobs, except they will throw, I don't know, a hurricane in your place, or they will throw a cancer over your head, and on and on. So how to actually deal with all this? It's enormous amount of disinformation, yet everything presented to you as a truth. So they're telling to you that they're programming you, but the only thing you have to do is nothing. This is what I'm saying. So it's up to you to make a different choice today and every day after this one, because you will not be able to sustain yourself knowing what I'm just sharing with you. It is absolutely your responsibility to get out of this ignorance mode. Ron will definitely be there to help. He gives hand to every single one of us. But we have to be brave enough to ask, because our ego will push us back into refusal. No, it cannot be. It cannot be that Prime Creator sits in the midst of America and trying to save as many souls as possible. I tell you, yes, he is. And yes, he does. And yes, he will for some time until he says, basta, that's enough. Done. No more ignorance. No more Illuminatis or the ones who are twisting the true light. No more fake 3300 degrees masonry or whatever crap they were inventing. I'm not saying that Freemasons were not real. Yet, why they have been so twisted? Because we allow it. We as a human species, so-called conscious, very, very conscious species, we allow to be tricked like a little rabbit who was caught by dangling a carrot of ignorance in front of our face. And every lifetime we do the same fucking mistake. Is this really enough for you? What have to happen to you to get really fed up when you say, I'm done with this. I cannot do this stupid shit over and over again. Best solution, besides going to creationlightship.com, find a place where you can discover yourself. Meaning, the only place you can discover it's inside. So any insights that you can have are the only place where you can start. So build on your insights. When you hear something, when you read something, and your really gut or insights tell you, man, this is ridiculous. I mean, why stupid Hillary is doing the same old shit and she thinks that we're going to believe her? Because you did before. You did for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever she was practicing, political witchcraft, until now. Trump is there to help, but you have to give him a hand. Meaning, help him to get rid of these freaks like fake judicial systems, like fake medical systems, like fake governmental systems. When you realize that your corporation of United States is just a dead corp. It's a dead institution who has no rights over you. All the rights this institution of politics, governments, and finances has over you is the one that you allow them to do. So, how to stop this process of being completely indulged into give away every single gram of your energy without blinking? Listen to what Julian Assange is saying. Listen and find a person or being, very light being. It's called Mark Christopher on YouTube. Easiest maybe, a real Morpheus. Whoever watched the Matrix movie, this is the dude who was teaching Neo basically to let go of this fake reality. This is imaginary, ignorant reality where you basically do all the things that you've been told and for some reason don't even dare to expect a different results. You'll know that you'll die when you're 60, 70. You know that you'll die when your plane crash down like in the sea, or you know that you'll die when you have a cancer and they give you 6 months to live. What to do there? Get courageous and tell these doctors to fuck off and to stick their diagnosis, which is a knowledge of how to die. This is what diagnosis means. In their, puny and greedy ass. Only then you can walk out and realize, man, I'm really free. Nobody else will be able to tell me when I'm going to die. Maybe I will not. Maybe if you go to Ron Amitron's site, Creation Lightship, and you get yourself your soul back, or all the particles they've been stolen for millennia. So, any solutions about ignorance is not a bliss, it's a curse. This is the essence of every of my stupid babbling. And I'm doing babbling because it comes from the Babylonian times, that I'm just babbling crap until you realize that I cannot help you. The only one who can help you, if you choose to help yourself, and go to creationlightship.com. One more time, creationlightship.com. So be it.